Welcome back to the channel, folks. As Mark Carney stated many times, the old familiar world order is gone. And while other leaders still trying to figure out whether to flatter the orange extortionists or to fold, Prime Minister Mark Carney just rewrote the entire playbook on how to handle the American orange bully, convicted felon, woman abuser, and serial bankruptcy in Washington. Today I'm opening the curtain and break down how a Canadian economist and Prime Minister walked away from the table of the orange idiot and straight into the role of the new leader of the free world. I break the story up into 4 sections. First, the broken trust. Why a deal with the Trump administration isn't worth the paper it's written on. Second, the flattery trap, and why sweet talking didn't work for Europe or Asia. Third, the masterclass. How Carney picked a fight over French labels and scored a 66% approval rating. And fourth, the new alliance. How Canada is ditching dependency on the US. This, my friends, is a story about how Canada stopped being the nice neighbor and started leading the charge. Let's be real. For decades, we trusted that handshake across the border. But Trump's negotiation history proves one thing. A deal made with this disaster administration is basically written in the sand. Think about it. The EU, Mexico, South Korea, Japan, they all have been through that ringer. 1 minute, there's a pause on tariffs. The next minute, the goalposts are moved. They secure a deal and suddenly there are new demands. Carney watched that pattern. He saw the US decouple from the West and bullied his allies just for fun. He saw how they treat agreements as fluid baselines, not final treaties. And he made a call that no other leader had the guts to make. He said, enough. Talks are over. Deals say you have a deal, shake your hands, and rewrite the terms before the ink is even dry. That's the reality of dealing with this gangster administration. And pretending otherwise, it's just stupidity. Now the EU and Asia have been playing by the old rules for the longest time. The rule book said, flatter, be firm, and think about the future. But here's where Carney is different. He looked at that rule book and threw out the flatter part. He watched leaders in Europe and Asia try to charm their way through negotiations, trying to appease the orange bully to get a good deal. And did it work? They've been locked in these endless trade negotiations for weeks, bending over backwards to avoid a fight, hoping that if they are just nice enough, the pressure will ease off. But the nicer you are, the more the US demands from you. Carney saw that trap. He knew that if you keep trying to soft that bully with kind words, you play into his hand. He wasn't going to trade Canada's sovereignty for a temporary pass. No, Carney went straight to the level firm. No flattery, no games, just backbone. And that brings us to the political masterclass we all witnessed just a week ago. We had a deal. Both administrations are ready to sign. And then enter Howard Lutnick. At the last minute, that idiot added poison pills to the deal. The worst one, he tried to push the French language out of the deal. No more French labels on American products sold to Canada. That wasn't just a trade demand, that was an attack on Canada's culture. So Mark Carney did the unthinkable. It's ticking down to midnight on Friday. He calls his team and said, we are done. Come home. And the result? Absolute genius. Instead of getting flack from the opposition, Carney gets a 66% approval rating. He got political opponents endorsing that move. He left the American embarrassed, but woke up a united, furious Canada. We boycott American booze even harder, keep staying out of the US and knocking billions of their tourism industry. Carney put his foot down and got a political victory. So, where does all this lead to? Carney is building a fortress of strategic autonomy. He has signed over 20 trade deals in the last year alone. He is diversifying like crazy. No more dependency on the US to survive. We're building bridges with Europe, Asia, and the Arabic nations. And here's the bigger part. The rest of the world is watching. Middle powers like Australia, countries in Asia and Mercosur admiring Carney's vision and leadership. They sign deals with Canada at record speed because they see Carney as the reliable, steady hand. He is the architect building Canada's strategic autonomy, away from the US, something economists have always thought to be impossible. And now other nations are lining up behind him. It's becoming clear that Mark Carney is the new leader of the free world. Why? Because he offers a dollar-for-dollar playbook that actually works. And the EU is all in. Canada is joining EU's massive defense pact, SAFE, and building an economic shield with the EU against the US. All this is leading to one massive moment. The EU-Canada Summit, October 29th and 30th, right here in Canada. That's where we lock in this partnership. And the runway to the summit? Mark Carney is speaking at the European Parliament in Strasbourg on September 16th. That is a huge honor. This is Canada's moment, my friends. Carney is going to lay out his blueprint for the Middle Power Alliance to the entire world. It's a new world order, all right? It's ours, and it's real. So, what do you think? Is Mark Carney's strategy the future for the free world? Or is this a gamble that could cost us our economy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you agree that it's time for Canada to lead, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Because this story, it's far from over. As always, my friends, thanks for watching. I'm Wilfried Lemkuller with Europe Curious, where we don't just repeat the daily headlines, but open the curtain so you can see for yourself what's really behind it. See you in the next one.